Today's AskReddit post. Serious, firefighters of Reddit. What are some ways to help keep pets safe if there's a fire, especially if the owner isn't home? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Train your pets to come to a specific location in your house to you when the alarm goes off. If you do the test sound once a month and get them used to going to an exit point when they hear it, they can get out of the house faster when help arrives. If you are home when this happens, you also know where to find them and they will be less likely to be scared and want to hide. Someone smarter than me needs to make a fire alarm that unlocks the pet cage and pet door when it goes off, then train pets to go to the door. Problem being, pets instinctively hide rather than escape. I agree. They would have to be trained to go out the door when they heard the alarm. I don't think they'd follow training if it's the same routine as every other week except everything is on fire. I think you need a new fire alarm if it's going off when everything is already on fire. Have a sticker on your door about what pets you have. Lets us know what to look for. Close the door to the room they are in. That goes for everyone when they are sleeping. Get working smoke alarms. Hopefully someone will hear them before the fire is too far involved. Better yet, get a system that automatically contacts emergency services. Don't expect your pet to get out if you leave an exterior door open. Their instincts are to usually hide rather than escape. We have a hamster, but you can just let it die is the first thing that entered my mind when I saw this for some reason. That's unwholesome. Do not let a hamster die. Fine. Let the hamster reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees. Now we're not letting it die. We're letting it get ready. You can buy a sticker from a pet store that alerts firefighters to any pets in your home. We put one in the window by our front door. This is perfect. You should also get some of those cards to keep in your wallet purse that say, "I have a pet at home, please call this person," so they can care for them in case you are hospitalized. Edit. Please read the comments below, mine made by some of the amazing emergency healthcare workers that took the time to reply and answer my questions. You all are awesome. The card may or may not be found and it seems to depend on the policy of the hospital or locality you live in. I'm sorry, but if you are hospitalized, that wallet is going in the bottom of a belongings bag, never to be seen by staff again. After we see in it, we never look in the wallet. Maybe a medical petted bracelet instead, that we might have a better chance of seeing. That is good to know. Thank you for the info. Professional career firefighter paramedic here. While others are giving great advice, realistically it is incredibly difficult to establish a plan with your animal. More often than not, they are incredibly aware of the house layout, but can easily become disoriented or panicked in a fire. The best tips are sometimes the exact things we stress to other humans. 1. Keep doors closed and rooms isolated. This can keep heat, smoke and fire from other rooms. 2. Keep your house less cluttered and never block potential entries or exits. 3. Lastly, and I cannot stress this enough, never enter the home again or attempt to find your animal. Let us go inside and get them for you. Many people believe they can save their animal and don't come back out. We can get in, knock the fire down, and potentially save your animal without the risk of you dying. To add to 3, depending on where you live, you may get into legal trouble if you enter a burning building during an emergency response and may even be full on restrained by emergency service members, generally the police, if you try to. Please have carbon monoxide and smoke detectors in your home. Last year a faulty plug caught fire in my dad's living room. Within minutes the flat was engulfed in smoke and my dad was killed in his sleep along with our family dog who was sleeping happily by his side. They were dead before they were even aware of the fire, which was only meters away in the next room. I know this doesn't help your pets if you aren't home, but it's a simple thing to do that you would never regret doing. Firefighter here. Every time I'm invited to a housewarming party, the host always gets an extinguisher, smoke detector and company detector, and instructions on the best place for each of those are the only ones they have. Prevention is the best resource. An extinguisher, smoke detector and company detector, and instructions on the best place for each of those are the only ones they have. What are the best places for those? If I only had one CO detector I'd put it by my bedroom, one smoke detector I'd put on the ceiling where multiple rooms or hallways cross. Fire extinguisher goes in the kitchen away from the stove. Keep your cat carrier out all the time. If your cat is used to it being a part of life, they don't flip out nearly as bad being put in it for transport. This is a good idea. My cat hates hers. Right now it takes 2 of us to put her in. And I'm going to be moving out on my own in the near future, lol. Consider a fabric carrier. My sister's cat will murder you for the plastic ones. Fabric one she dislikes but allows provided much treats are provided. Less fireproof yo. Alternatively, wrap your cat like a grumpy burrito and then place them in cage. This may not work twice. Swaddling also works well for taking them to vet if someone else drives, but isn't the safest transport. I love that the cat burrito is grumpy, haha. Longer than my normal one, so hold tight. I was 15 when I joined my fire department's exploring program, which gave me the ability to roll hose and chang air tanks. One day, after I turned 16, we had a house fire. So I hopped in my little Impala, got the FH and followed the trucks out. Upon getting there we could see that it was pretty bad. Fully involved, I knew that the family had an outside dog and it was going crazy. Chief told me to go get it and calm it down and to wait until animal control got there. I got a leash out of my car hooked to its collar. After it got used to my smell and I gave it a couple of potato chips. Rex then took in what was happening. He knew his family was in there and I hadn't seen them come out yet. He sat patiently waiting for them, and not long after I heard them call on the radio to call the morgue. Animal control showed up and I asked where he'd be going. Pound until he is adopted. 3 weeks later I get a call from them asking if I wanted Rex, and now own a beautiful dog. He misses his family and always whines when we go by their house on walks, but he is the life of the firehouse when I got to meetings. Make sure that your pets know where the exits of your home are, and make sure that they would be able to leave through them if there ever was a fire. Things such as pet doors are great for this. If you can't do that, make it so that any firefighters who enter, and keep in mind, if it is a volunteer FD like the one I am a part of, that it may take upwards of 20 minutes for everyone to arrive, are able to see any pets that you may have, whether that be directly or by a sign, marking, etc. If you know that your pet is inside the home when there is a fire, be sure so let someone there know. I'm sorry if this doesn't help a lot, but I am not an interior firefighter currently, though I will be in a few years. All the deceased dogs I've seen were trying to hide under something, usually the couch. It sucks, but prepare to see dead things once you go interior. The thought of a dog trying to hide from a fire underneath the couch is breaking my heart. Sadly, it is what happens. Animals are naturally afraid of fire, and will do their best to try and escape it. There are chipped collars that unlock pet doors. Maybe a sprinkler system, but I would imagine that is not remotely cheap, especially if the home is already built. In retrofit houses they just hang the pipes from the ceiling. It means the pipes have to be made of metal, but it doesn't make the cost exorbitant. In some states new houses have to have sprinklers anyway, so the cost of a residential sprinkler system is tolerable. Ironically, houses made from engineered lumber would be destroyed by the sprinklers in the event of a fire anyway. Sprinklers aren't for protecting property. Yeah, they're meant to limit the spread of the fire, and also have the effect of keeping fires that are already there just a bit cooler for just a bit longer, adding precious seconds to the amount of time that you, your loved ones, your enemies and your pets have to get out before dying from smoke inhalation. The greatest mercy of all in a fire, or burning to death. Why smoke inhalation is a mercy. When you test your fire alarms, check to see where your dog's cat runs to hide. This is likely where they will run to and hide in case of a real fire. Get a sticker on your front door that tells us what pets you have, or just have them in like the backyard or some shit. Source: I'm volunteer firefighter. My issue is I live in a basement suite, so would I put the sticker in our personal suite door? It's inside a fenced backyard and a doggy door. Give them free roam between a locked mudroom and the outside. And pets can let themselves out in an emergency. Golly, I'd love to have a fenced-in yard. Must be lucky to have a house rather than an apartment. Even a room just for shoes. Sounds super specific, but let's say you're on the second floor with an open window and the fire is downstairs. Is it better to throw your pet outside instead of carrying them? Never throw animals, or people for that matter, out of a window unless it is absolutely last ditch effort and the room you are in is currently engulfed in flames. I've said it above and I cannot stress this enough. Shut your doors. Get to an open window and call for help. Stay by the window. Places towels, bedding, blankets or anything thick by the base of the door to stop smoke entering the room you are in. Edit. Spelling meaning two different things. Face with tears of joy. Face with tears of joy. I normally would never say this, but you have a small typo. I think it's supposed to say shut your doors instead of shit your doors, but whatever works for you, dude. A dog door. When I was doing mop up on a structure fire, the IC told me to recover the dead dogs from the structure. The structure was a total loss, and the owners went home when the fire started. One dog's body was under the bed in the master bedroom. The other was snug against the back door, just where a dog door into the fenced backyard would have been. Had the house had a dog door, which it didn't, based on its position, it seemed as though at least one dog might have left the house and not died in the fire. If the owners had installed a dog door, I had to place the dogs in black plastic trash bags and carry them out to the edge of the backyard, so that the owners, when they returned, could decide what to do with the bodies. I'll never forget the feel of the dogs' burnt paws as I carried them. Their skeletal claws tore through the trash bag. When my engine was released, I went home and hugged my dog and cried. Ever since then, I have installed a dog doors in every place I've lived, and I've chosen rentals selectively based on whether they had a dog door or not. That's heartbreaking. I've often thought of those owners returning to find their home and all their possessions destroyed, and then, in horror, seeing those plastic bags. Ever since, I feel like a proselytizer for dog doors. Easiest save I ever had was a dog in a kennel by the front door. I broke in the front door ready to advance into the garage where the fire was, and he was just sitting in there. Put the hose down, picked up the kennel, took him outside and then went back and finished the job. In general, fires start in kitchens, near water heaters or furnaces and the dryer. Try not to run heat generating appliances when not home. Don't burn candles. Keep your pets in a kennel and or room unlikely to be affected by fire. Over the years I have pulled snakes, parrots, dogs and cats out of fires. The ones that lived were generally kept away from those areas. Also, retrieving a cat not in a kennel is a hell of a task. Cat teeth can also poke right through fire gloves. I saw one comment that did the biggest thing. Place a sticker stating you have pets. Safest bet is also displaying how many animals are in the house. Animals don't have a great track record from house fires though. Their small lungs can't take a lot, neither can a person. The one thing to their advantage is that if they're small, staying low may keep them alive. I hate to say it, but there isn't a whole lot one can do. We try to do the best we can to find animals, but they get into some pretty crazy places when things are bad. If you are unable to get your pet out but are at the place, tell the firefighters where their favorite spots are. My very small town was evacuated a few weeks ago, and although I was able to get our pets out, I was prepared in a last-ditch effort to leave the door open if I wasn't able to secure them. Doggy doors. Don't leave them in kennels. This is a big one. Leave room doors closed. Closed doors can save entire rooms and the things inside them. Fireman here. Fire prevention is key. I encourage you to live with sprinklers in your home. When done properly, they can be extremely non-invasive and can even be retrofitted into existing structures for approximately $2.3 a SQFT depending on a lot of variables. No, sprinklers don't work like they do in TV, but they will keep the structure tenable for much longer than without, and are the difference between a total loss and just an insurance claim. Others have hit the training already, which is good. I just always preach sprinklers to people because there's no excuse for builders not to be including them. Thank you for asking this. I'm UK based and I'm wondering if there's any UK firefighters who can give me a heads up. I've already got a note in my ice contact on my phone if anything happens when I'm out, but never thought about anything happening at home. May sound harsh, but keep them in a room with the door closed when you aren't home. A closed door will stop fire and smoke spread for hours, but that would also keep them from escaping if they have a chance. True. But if someone didn't want to install a doggy door that could be a passage for other wild animals, closing a door will buy them the most time until firefighters can find them. Also, it's a good idea to leave a sign or some indicator of how many pets you have inside. I've had a few fires with pets inside. The owner's not home and it's always a head scratcher of did we get them all? Smoke detector can save pets safe when owner is not at home. How is that? Genuinely curious. Pets are very trainable, but this basically only applies if you have a cat like me. I have trained them to go out their cat flap when the fire alarm goes off. They have a test button, and I use treats and meat to get them to go outside when it sounds. Turn your shit off when you leave. A buddy ran to the corner store and the dishwasher was running. When he got home he saw the flames from his driveway. Dog dead. House destroyed. Keep the cat carrier open and near the door. A coworker had a fire and told the firefighters her cat was inside her apartment. They asked where she kept the carrier. When they went to the carrier, the cat was already inside. Cat was like, "Get me the fuck outta here now." Tried to scroll through the responses but lost patience, so my apologies if it's already been stated. Lots of great answers here by my brothers and sisters. There is a sticker you can buy and stick near the front door of the house that is meant to alert FFs in case of an emergency if there are any pets in the home, particularly dogs or cats. Most of the ones I've seen are approximately 3x3 inches. It states in case of fire or pet alert and usually a spot to check cat or dog or other etc. Please note we don't always 100% of the time rely on those though. They may be dated, inaccurate, or the pet may be out of the house, but it is something we'll pay attention to. My DEP prioritizes life, property and then the environment in that order. Most departments are the same. Several checks are made throughout the fire mitigation and searching for life, meaning people but pets too will be right there, are always a priority. Found pets happen much more frequently than one would imagine, and most of the time the animal's intuitions get them to a relatively safe place long enough for rescuers to find them. Hope this helps, and I hope everyone is staying safe through all this craziness going on. It's a stressful time. I hope we all get through this stronger, closer and wiser at some point soon. Years ago we had 2 dogs we kenneled when leaving the house. Wife and I hated to think about the results of a fire starting while gone. We had a dodgy dog but still had to kennel due to separation anxiety issues. In the end, I took a couple door actuators for a vehicle and connected them to a smoke detector wirelessly. So when the alarm on the detector sounded, the actuators disengaged the locking pins to allow the dogs to exit and go out of the door. Gladly it never needed to be used for emergency purposes, but we would use the key fob that still worked to train when we walked in the house. Hit the button and as soon as they heard the actuators go, they exited the kennels. Worked flawlessly. Still wish I had the funds to produce such a product to market. If they are farm animals, let them out. Let them run. Normally, their instinct will help them out. Cats too. They generally come back. Always tag them or put a phone number on their rug if they have an inflammable one on. There should be a pet door that's connected to the fire alarm, so if that goes off, it opens the pet door and your animals can escape. I have guinea pigs and the thought of throwing them into a bag and hauling us during a fire is a source of anxiety for me. I will start by saying the best thing you can do to increase the survival odds of a pet is to ensure the local fire department has pet oxygen masks. If they don't have them, there are several programs out there to donate masks to fire departments, or you can even purchase them and donate them yourselves. As far as anything else, It doesn't work so much as pets tend to run from strangers or hide. Also, those pet window stickers for alerting fire departments really don't help much. We will still make entry and attempt to put out the fire while searching the residence whether there is a pet sticker there or not. Besides, a sticker could be placed for a pet that has already died and the sticker was never removed. Or, the previous family had a pet and another family purchased the home that does not have a pet but left the sticker in place. TLDR. Ensure your local fire department has pet oxygen masks. Other things including pet window stickers don't work so well. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.